And welcome everybody to week 4 of Aurora Esports. Today we got the second to last match of the week between the Belfast Bunger Brigade versus the Australian Aardvarks. Again, I'm one of your casters, War, joined alongside by Neptune and with Paninii on prod. Neptune, how you doing today?
Doing great, War. Coming off a high on our own match and getting ready to cast and watch some games still,
Yeah, if only Paninii would switch the map to
Ilios
instead of Lijiang Tower. But we'll get there eventually.
And a host.
And a host.
And a host news too. What the hell?
What the frick? Anyways, so Bunger Brigade and Aardvarks. Talk to me about these teams. What have you seen from them so far? And do you have any expectations or maybe even predictions on who you think is gonna come out on top?
Honestly, for me, and it doesn't seem like they're here, but Yak has always been like a standout player for me, at least from when we were starting our scrims for the Sayoris. We did that ringer team, and Yak was just on Orisa during that meta, and it was just so oppressive. So I was really excited to watch the Bunger Brigade, So I want to say I'm expecting a certain outcome because I think both the teams are great,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would honestly say kind of the same thing about Quinn as well. Just their presence is very important, but they're not in. They have obviously Fedora as a ringer, which is a very good ringer. And I will say to that point, Belfast has played down. They've played down Yak before, and they have won that match as well.
They still look strong, yeah.
Yeah, they still look really strong.
But at least at the end of the day, you're gonna say Gur ringers either way, right?
Yup, that's right. Gur Fedora, imagine ringing.
Looking at these both comps is gonna be a mirror monkey comp, I'm really excited to see how this more spammy type of dive would go against Bunger Brigade, so hard dive.
Yeah, and Bunger Brigade, honestly, it feels like they force this onto every map, and you can see they're very, very good at it, but it's going to be Will Halo who's found first in the fight by Mythical Duck, proficient DPS. She's really looking to just pressure out towards this point, and Jack drops dangerously low, but Boost finds straight up into Hockey Shoot, so now it's going to be the advantage on the side of the Bunger Brigade. You can see Melon trying to push the aggression, but it's actually going to be Fedora and Chloe who find the picks, and they're going to take over this point first.
Yeah, that was amazing. They were able to maintain and stabilize after getting that amazing pick from Mythical Duck. So they keep shutting down these angles and absorbing their dive. There's nothing that can stop them, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's all a question of how good is the dive. I haven't seen really Jack look for any major hacks that they can collapse on just yet, so maybe they're looking for an opportunity like that. But yeah, there it goes on to Mythical Duck. It shuts her down, and now it's an advantage in the favor of Bunger Brigade, looking to
force out Suzu.
Yep.
Jack soon follows. Sorry.
Yep. No worries. Wiggle Higgle now just on the point, dancing around. Monkey battle towards the point, but it's actually made Melon who turns this around. Now it's just the Australian Aardvarks looking to cap or take as much of the point as possible. They're going to end up with 45 before Bunger Brigade eventually flips that over.
Yeah, amazing dive from Jack. Even after the kill, they drew so much more attention in the backline that forced all the resources on him. Going to this fight, they should be able to maintain with this beat to counter anything that comes at them, like Primal or Ross hits an amazing pulse on the Sojourn, just resetting that clock for the Bunger Brigade.
Yeah, and that's the exact type of pick Bunger Brigade is looking for. They can completely collapse once they find one on the backline or even the Soj. And Soj is a fairly easy target for Jack and Boost to go on. As you can see, kills are just immediately picked up afterwards. But Mythical Duck does manage to find Boost, so a chance for Australian Aardvarks to go aggressive, potentially with the ults that they have online.
Yeah, Bunger Brigade is going to fall back, but they probably should look for a Kiriko back into them. And then mid-fight, they can even use the CMP to shut down something. Oh, counter EP coming in. Fight for Aurora. He comes in.
And yeah, both beats invested on both sides. Both Kitsune rushes at the same time as well. And then it's going to be Silent Storm with the Primal Rage on point, trying to find whatever he can, but it's his own teammates that are getting picked up, cleaned up, and shipped on home. And that was 4 ults from the Australian Aardvarks to absolutely no avail.
Yeah, no, it is it's just like such an ultimate disadvantage now. Duck has to go crazy with this OC, and I'm afraid that they probably can't do that since the Primal from Melon is like online here.
Yeah, Primal and the Pulse. We know Foost is somebody who's characteristically
It's
very
another
good for it,
amazing
and
pulse.
does it on to Chloe. That's the exact pick that they need. Shuts down the OC. They know no ults are online. And Melon, Foost finding some towards the back line. Silent Storm unable to really do anything here. And as the time ticks away, I don't even think there's going to be a touch from the Oh, Silent Storm just manages to fling himself on. That's straight into a Primal Rage. That's straight into Melon. And that's straight into the rest of the Belfast Bunger Brigades. It's just going to be Saga touches from here on out.
Yeah. What the Aardvarks have to do to kind of like adapt to this now, to this Tracer Sombra dive, is just like they need to like keep like a DPS and a Sombra, or DPS and Lucio in like kind of like a brawly area and like really mark lanes, because they're just getting these like free dives, and after they get that one fight win, they can just set up and keep continuing like they had been in their spawn. So, Mythical Duck, I really love the Tracer look from them. I think that's going to provide a lot of stability for their team.
Yep, and I think it's really a great counter just for the Foost-Jack duo, because we know this duo has been playing a lot of this Sombra Tracer. It feels like every single map is their strategy. So now the ability to run the Cast and Tracer, a composition we see as meta in current Overwatch scenes, I think that's a very powerful counter that you can bring out.
Yeah. And as they rotate this point, Aardvarks need to make sure they get a clean reset and just play it really slow to buy time for Aurora to just click those heads, right? They really strive on killing these rotations, especially if it's not correctly timed here, like we saw with the pick on Law.
Yep, and it's an early advantage, and the Bunger Brigade actually taking over this point first, but Aardvarks are back quick, so not too much loss here. Melon, they're dropping dangerously low towards the backside of point, and with Fedora Master now set up onto this high ground, it's gonna be a tall task. They have to jump up and force off, but Silent Storm's up there as well. Manages to get Jack out and potentially gonna be able to find a kill. It's actually gonna be Fedora that runs down Wiggle towards the backside. Hawkshoe's traded out, but it's Fedora with 3. The Ringer coming in massive. You gotta thank Gur Ringers, don't you, Neptune?
That's what I was just about to say, Gur Ringers. But as we saw, they played really slow, observed their dive, and that's when that cast variant gets like so much stronger. But what I'm really worried about is just this Jack EMP, because they can really just break through that. And as you see, they're very staggered, not grouped up. How is this gonna Jack it dies?
Yeah, that was a great hinder from Fedora there. Onto Jack, completely denying the most of the pressure. Foost is also dangerously low, has the pulse, but they don't have the numbers to really take this fight, so they're playing this a lot slower. Melon trying to contest for small little room on the outside, but as you can see, the Australian Aardvarks are just there to meet it. They're ready to stage for the dive, and it's going to be a dive onto Wiggle, but an EMP coming out from Jack. They're going to be able to shut down the Law. Wiggle here gets traded out into the back line, and now it's just an absolute brawl. Silent Storm tries to bring this towards the point as Nuttier drops the beat down, finds Fedora, but eventually gets traded out by Mythical Duck. Primal Rage is on point, invested by Silent Storm. They think they can hold on to this point. They think they can win it out, and surely with the help of their teammates, no Foost actually manages to find Pakashu. The Law is finally back to give some support to the Aardvarks, though. Pulse Bomb is thrown down by Foost, unable to find anything as Law falls, Silent Storm falls, and the Belfast Bunger Brigade finally managed to put this point. Just need the cleanup kill onto Chloe.
Looking forward to the next fight. The Aardvarks has like a pretty big advantage with these double support ults, but I'm really worried about the Bunger Brigade buying time with Security and Primal to make a way for another Jack EMP, which is going to turn the fight in their favor.
Yeah, and Jack already gets a hack onto Silent Storm. You can see they have to force out Suzu to even take this fight, but now they're going to Kitsune rush down onto the point, trying to find whatever picks. They're looking towards Nutty, and Fedora Master eventually manages to get it with the help from Pakashu. And now multiple ults invested towards point. This is the Law's beat to try to keep the team up against Wiggle Higgle's Kitsune Rush. Melon also on the point. They're brawling out with the Primal Rage, but doesn't manage to find anything, just providing a lot of disruption and holding on to the point. Now the lead in the favor of the Belfast Bunger Brigade, but they're actually going to give it up. They're going to try to reset through, but it's going to be a harder reset as Mythical Duck does shut down Melon.
Yeah, no, it was really, that was marvelous from the Aardvarks to like capitalize on getting stabilized on point. I thought it was done for sure. But going to this next fight, it's really important that Jack is just going to be the deciding factor. And Nutter gets his kill on Mythical Duck. This is going to be a setup for them massively.
You cannot underestimate the 4K Lucio, potentially even the best Lucio in the league, and the best Sombra in the league. Goes into the big EMP, finds almost everybody, but gets shut down, but enables Melon towards the point. But it's going to be trades on either side. Silent Storm, the Primal Rage is just going to be hitting a little bit bigger than Melon's. They find the pick there, and now it's him jumping towards the point. Nuttier left to solo contest. The beat's only going to hit himself, and he's already forced out of this position. Spawns are coming back though. Jack already onto this point, but 4 members of the Aardvarks are back, almost 5 towards their team. And they're managing to stabilize on this point. Melon's back on Doomfist, seeing if they can get any value with that. And Jack finds a massive take on his Silent Storm. The hack comes in too. That shuts down the Law. Cost of Jack's life, but now equalized towards the point. The Pulse Bomb comes in. Mythical Duck sticks it. Mythical Duck finally falls down though. And Belfast Bunger managed to squeak it out there.
Yeah, the Bunger Brigade has to find like some immediate value before the Aardvarks get their support ults online, which is going to be really hard because Aurora has this high noon to make any amount of space. But Jack, I love the positioning from Jack on high ground to hack Aurora wherever he goes.
If you really need that counter, they know that high noon probably only ultimate online. Especially the Aardvarks forcing down towards the point right now, but the rest of the team turns back towards Fedora. They realize that that's the priority, and they realize they can still take this fight. Now, with the DPS of the Aardvarks down, it's just cleanup for the side of the Belfast Bunger Brigade. Silent Storm left on point. Hakashu goes down. Pulse Bomb comes in, not even needed. Belfast Bunger Brigade are going to flip the point. Will there be a desperation touch? I don't think so, as Belfast take map 1.
Amazing from the Bunger Brigade for that recontest. And the Aardvarks retake, that was so crucial to mark Fedora from that high noon, and as well to get those 2 picks. Just amazing.
Yeah, and this is what they are so good at. Granted, I will say the Aardvarks, I think, had a much better solution with the Cassidy and the Tracer just to mark out Foost and Jack, but you sort of need to be winning those duels consistently and not getting split as a team when you have a Sombra on the other side. So map 1 goes in favor of Belfast, but looking forward to map 2. We're going to be going to hybrid in the pick of the Aardvarks.
Yeah, it seems like the Aardvarks, at least, I'm not sure who took them there last time, but they took to Paraseo, so I'm wondering if there's going to be like a dive mirror still, or if they would go into a different direction.
Yeah, I think you honestly just want to take this team to somewhere where you can't play Tracer and Sombra. I mean, looking towards the map pool choices that we have here this week, as I pull them up, we got Eigenwald, Midtown, Numbani, and Parisio. So, I don't know. I feel like Parisio and Ike are probably best bets. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go Numbani just because of the dive scariness.
Yeah, I think Midtown might be the best. At least I think for going to that Sombra Tracer dive, because you can just like stuff them out of choke and make sure you bully the tank from getting any setup.
Yeah, I like that call as well, but we'll have to see what the Aardvarks are doing. First thing they're doing is putting in Booney in for Silent Storm. Booney, typically their second map player, but definitely not a slouch player in any means, as we do get the map choice as Midtown, as you predicted.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I mean, as we saw, Booney on that 3K Paraseo clip was amazing, you know, so I'm really excited to see what they can do on this map. I'm expecting, honestly, I've heard about the map 5 Booney Roadhog, you know. I think that could be pretty well here.
Yeah, Booney definitely very, I mean, I feel like previously Booney was somebody who's like really known for his like Reinhardt and his ball, but he can really go onto any tank that he wants. Even though in chat he said the bog cometh, which I think is hinting towards Roadhog maybe.
Hey, Booney's reading my mind. And I'm really excited to see this matchup continue. I'm wondering if we're gonna see like a harder brawl look from the Aardvarks, or if the Bunger Brigade will stick it out with the Somber Tracer look. And as we're currently seeing, we're still seeing Foos, we're still seeing Jack. From what I know, Jack can still play a pretty mean Echo. It's just, how are they going to work a comp into Midtown, and what are Aardvarks going to play? That's all it's going to see. You know, we got to look what happens.
You just really have to do something to disrupt the Bunger Brigade's momentum, because right now you have the, and I don't want to call them like one-trick players in any mean, but the person who's known for being the best Sombra on Sombra, the person who in Collegiate was probably a extremely dominating Tracer on Tracer and Foos, the Lucio who's like constantly top 10 in speed runs all the time on Lucio. Like, you have the players playing what they want to play, so you have to make them be a bit uncomfortable on that. As we do see start of a few picks up on this map, and I'm assuming that Jack is not going, but maybe he is going.
I can see it.
I don't know.
I can see the support switching in Melon, but like, I feel like Foos and Jack are gonna probably stay on these DPS characters. And as we're seeing like more like a rush dive look from the Aardvarks. So I'm wondering how that's gonna look into the Bunger Brigade's comp here. They gotta make sure they can set up tempo and like make sure to kill box Zen here.
Yep, it's all about putting pressure on towards Nuttier, in my opinion, with this composition. Or Jack uses the CDs. Yeah, Jack just professional baiter, by the way.
Yeah.
Would only play Sombra. Only knows how to play Sombra.
Grr, I hate baiters.
I hate baiters. But the Sombra's coming in big right now. Early hack onto Booney. Didn't see it coming. Melon's there to find the second. And Mythical Duck's trying to put pressure in. Is going to actually engage on towards his backline. Trying to find Wiggle Higgle as Belfast is managing to take over this point. Chloe's positioning is going to be crucial here. If she can explode out at the right time, she can do something big, but Nuttier manages to shut it down.
And that should be wraps for this point. Everyone's just going to soon to follow, and that's going to go in the way of Bunger Brigade. At least they go like more of a classic dive mirror now, and it's just going to be really important at how Law feeds Chloe, packs, and just annihilate angles from them. And I'm really excited to see how they manage to do this.
Yeah, but you also have to keep the Law alive and also keep your team alive as Hakushu goes down. Luckily, Nuttier is going to be traded out, though. Chloe falls in exchange. And at the moment, the Australian Aardvarks have only had one fight as a team. I think at this point in time, you still got to reset. Even though it's 3v3, it's still a very rough fight to take. You don't have your main support here just yet. Eventually, Hakushu does TV back onto this high ground. We're going to reset on an even fight.
Definitely is. At least they made it really scrappy, but they also made it scrappy for themselves. Look at all this free card push that they're getting. And we're not going to see a real fight until this card gets like way lower. Or this happens where they all commit to lower. And that way, Fedora can spit piece of that, right?
Yeah, Fedora's so stationary within this comp. It's so easy for Melon to explode, and he's exploding massively. Finds 3 down towards point as well. Mythical Duck on the back line. 3 of her own. Equalized fight for some reason, but Booney out of mech. You gotta think that's the disadvantage, and it definitely is. Mythical Duck throws the pulse bomb as a hero play, unable to find anything, but Fedora looking to push the aggression, not afraid to go in. They realize they have both supports back. Lucio Brig may not be the support line you're looking for, as Melon does manage to find a pick into that. Meteor Strike now coming out from Melon, looking to isolate the supports, but Foodsta is actually going to clean this up right before he can get the kill. Fedora's High Noon does manage to find something, but Cart dropping dangerously close to completion of second.
What? Just the respawns are coming through. The Aardvarks should win this. They just have so much more people coming back than the Bunger Brigade will. But at least this is where we get to stabilize for the Aardvarks, at least.
Feels like a fight is finally being taken with more than 3 people on them. Even though Belfast Brigade is looking to go in. Jack with a big EMP combo with the slam of Melon does manage to find 2 towards the point. And even though it was an equalized fight, Bunger Brigade, they're one to push the temple, they're one to push the engagement, and they're one to push all of the Aardvarks off this point. As they're even gonna go hunting. Hakushu's found out. And now it's a very awkward comp that they're running. Mythical Duck's gonna go over onto the Ash, but I don't think this is what they planned out when they picked Midtown.
Surely not, no. This is gonna be, there's no identity for this comp, I think. It's gonna be really hard. Wiggle's just gonna keep, look at their kill box. They're just gonna go with this Kitsune ult and just kill anyone that they see. Lucio's hacked.
Yeah, that's so much pressure from Jack. Manages to find one. That's the early advantage that feels like Bunger Brigade has always had. And now the log gets hacked out as well. Melon just diving out on Fedora and just Booney left towards the point. Throws down the bomb anyways. Is he gonna find anything? No 3K bombs from Booney this time. No heroics here.
They have Cole online soon, EMP. This should be wraps for the Bunger Brigade here. The only way I can see is just like B coming out soon and Fedora getting massive picks like he does on Jack. Amazing.
Yeah, that was a beautiful hinder, maybe off of a combo from Mythical Duck as well, but point is going to be equalized here. Foos does manage to find 2 though, coming in absolutely massive. Has the pulse bomb in back pocket, has to recall out of here. Looking to put down the pressure as Will Eagle finds Fedora. Foos does clean up Booney, and now it's going to be a complete wipe. It's left on the 2 supports to touch, and this is a very interesting support line to be sending into the brawl, into the thick of it. Hakushu now going in onto the Lucio, managing to stabilize a bit towards the point. Booney back on Ramatra, but again, it is closing time. I think this is going to be an around 3 minutes, 2.5 minute capture of Midtown.
As Sano said, I am inevitable. It's really, I'm not sure. I feel like the Aardvarks need to get a full regroup. Obviously, it doesn't come down to just that they're staggering, right? But they're just taking really sloppy fights. They're not building ultimates to counter their ultimates. And it's just really, they're snowballing off of the fact that they have Cole, they have Kiri, they have EMP. Jack's been amazing with these EMPs, setting up their team. And every fight is just a win off of it. And they have no answers at the moment. And it's really hard because I feel like their neutral game is just really weak because of the comps they're playing, like the Lucio Brig, right? If they go Lucio Brig, I would love to see like a more of an all-int comp rather than what we are seeing now.
Yeah, but if they do it like an all-int comp, I feel like they need to have a better backline, and I feel like Mercy isn't the solution when you have like against like a Moira and a Kiriko that has such good sustain. I feel like the Belfast Brigade can just int better in that case, you know? They've been inting all season. They just go in. Win or lose, they're going in.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited to see how the Zarya would work to absorb their dives. That being said, I do think going like a Kiri or a Lucio would help that comp better. But Mythical Duck, Chloe's just going to be trying to look for their own picks, try to hit that Tracer shutdown, and hopefully the Aardvarks play really slow and just bait these dives and force the enemy team out.
I'm really scared for the Hakushu Mercy here. It may prove me wrong, but I feel like that is getting punched, hacked, everything, and you can see they're looking to stage a dive through here. Holding multiple angles. The hack's actually going to go onto Fedora. Melon's going to be pressuring in towards that. But Booney and the Law are going to manage to take up this high ground. A good job in sustain thus far, but Jack does manage to take down the Law. That's going to be a lot of healing for the Aardvarks. Completely dismantled, and now it's going to be all the healing as Hakushu falls as well. Mythical Duck does manage to find a pick on towards Jack, which could be big now that both the supports are spawning in. Fedora with another one onto Nuttier. Mythical Duck gets traded out in the process. It's uneven fights. You just need a time to push the green light for the Australian Aardvarks.
Yeah, the Aardvarks with this comp are looking decently a lot better. You know, it feels like they're really fighting back, helping Fedora stay alive, right? And exactly like this, they just play really slow, bubble Fedora, get him in that pocket, and just follow up and kill.
Yep, and Booney's just able to also really stabilize in this composition. Unfortunately, it's coming at the cost of the DPS's life, but Hakushu does manage to get the revive, and still the point is starting to take away, but eventually the Belfast Bunger Brigade aren't going to want to give anything up. They're going to drop down to contest. Booney, Mythical Duck finding multiple other picks, but Foost cancels the life of both Mythical Duck and Hakushu. Law falls as well, and now it's just Booney towards the point, trying to build up as much charge and hang on to his life for as long as possible, but it's now eventually going to fall.
A little bit too much splitting from the Aardvarks there, but it was such a close fight. If they had stayed a little bit longer in, that would have bought time for the Valk and all those ultimates to come off. I'm really excited to see how amazing pick from Chloe. We need to try to capitalize that and probably still ult this fight. Great opening Valk from Hakushu. Let's see if we can make our way to point and hopefully hit a combo there.
Yeah, and they have a lot of ults they can invest into it. The Valk from Hakushu just seems like the gateway towards the point, but now it's on, can they clean up these kills towards point? And Melon looking to stage a dive into this room, landing off a big punch and manages to find it, doing a lot of disruption and allowing the teammates of Foost to come in. Oh my god, that grab was insane. And that finds so many. From Melon, yeah, it's sustaining towards point. Booney does manage to find the pick though, and now it's just Melon, they're shut down, and Booney manages to clean it up in the last seconds.
Chloe just go crazy at the end there. Amazing. It was really worrisome that Jack was having another EMP online closing. That was gonna be a difference maker that fight. And if they had just gotten to that point, I fear for the Aardvarks there.
Mythical Duck with kind of a crazy shot on Jack. Jack getting a little bit overzealous towards the point, and now they got the hinder onto Foost as well. Fade is forced out. Melon the only one left to really contest towards this high ground, but it feels like they're going to be able to get it for free. And on the back of Mythical Duck with a crazy headshot onto Foost, they can now just push the aggression. They are feeling really, really good right here. Leave Hakushu on the card and just hold these doors. But Melon's now over onto the Monkey, which potentially could deal a lot more damage, especially to the DPS. Dragon Strike invested, but it's gonna be Jack with the EMP on that high ground instead. Now it's an absolute brawl towards the height, towards the point. Kitsune rush from the Law to try and give the Aardvarks the leading advantage in this fight and help Booney pick out Foost. So now Belfast now backing up towards this right side of high ground, and they're sort of resetting.
Honestly, for the Bunger Brigade, we take that fight. They stopped pushing card for so long, and they are able to posture for this high ground and attack again. And the peel on Hakushu comes out and is amazing. Chloe finds an amazing pick on the hole that is closing.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a grab from Booney, cost his life, but enables a kill from Mythical Duck. But that's gonna be about all it is, as now Bunger Brigade managing to finish up these following kills, shut down the Law, and now really take control of this point. Hakushu now swapping over onto the Lucio, as well as Booney on the Diva.
Yeah, I really like this look into the Winston and being able to spy check the Sombra, hopefully. Because Jack's been a really nuisance, alongside Nutter with like these flanking warriors mid-fight, right? We're just gonna expect this Nutter's just gonna go in their backline with this goal, surely, this fight.
Yeah, but it's actually gonna be the Primal Rage for Melon first. Seeing what he can find, seeing if he can deny some of the space. Doesn't want to fully commit inwards, but does want to give a lot of disruption. The Pulse is invested. As Booney shuts down Melon, Boost does find the Law, but it's gonna be a tank on the side of the Aardvarks, and Coalescence to try to save it from Nuttier. He's just in the back line. He's trying to catch the Chloe Hakushu duo on towards the point and trying to deal this 2v2. Meanwhile, on the high ground is another fight completely. Booney and Fedora are going to manage to drop back here. Now they have a 5-man team, but Booney gets DMX'd, which poses a major problem for the Aardvarks.
Yeah, Nuttier's just drawing so much attention that's just drawing everyone back. That makes way for the Bunger Brigade to get a clean kill on Booney, and as long as the rest of the team.
Yeah, it feels like Nuttier's just playing as like a Winston right now, you know? They're not able to kill him. He's in the back line. He doesn't have the tank HP, but he's dealing the tank damage for sure, and really allowing the rest of the team to just collapse onto that dive, as we're entering last fight territory. We got a few big ults on either side, but I think what's biggest is that pick from Fedora Master, which is going to sort of be the green light here for the Australian Aardvarks.
Absolutely. Even with Jack's EMP online, it's still going to be hard. Jack's probably going to EMP first, get out beat, and then Bunger Brigade are going to follow up with this Kitsune ult onto point. At least we have an ult from the log here.
Yeah, the EMP comes through first. Multiple are going to fall, but Fedora Master actually trying to save it with the high noon. Manages to find 2, and now it's a 2v3 on towards the point. Booney trying to stabilize with help from the Law, but the Law is taken down, and Booney, the last man standing, has the bomb, but it's going to be into a bubble. Is it going to catch anything? No, Foos blinks out just in time, but Booney manages to get that rematch, which is massive. Fedora has the Alrighty, we are potentially live. I hope we're live. I don't know if we're live, but once Panini confirms it to us, we're gonna go into map 3 of Saravasa between the
Looks like
Australian Aardvarks versus the Belfast Bunger Brigade. I am one of the casters, War, and now becoming the prodder, as because Panini's internet got cut. Joined with me, second caster, Neptune. How's it going? Part 2.
NA prod, skrrr. No, I think a nice little break from both teams. You know, hopefully we get some water on.
I am
all these
here.
People.
Okay,
Riddle, too bad. It doesn't matter. You're cut. GG's.
You got it figured out.
You got it figured out now?
No, we don't. But
We're
yeah, we
just,
do.
we're just gonna do a somewhat scuffed stream.
You're all
How
like
about
you're
how
all
about-
on audio
how about-
right now. By the way, hi. You're all on stream. Good luck.
Yeah. Riddle, you gonna finish
I
your
am?
thought?
Yeah, you're on stream. Everybody
the
here is
stream?
on stream.
You got the stream now?
Everybody's
Yeah,
on
we
stream.
fixed it. We got it fixed.
Do we have it fixed? Who knows? Because
After like 10 minutes, we got it.
Grr,
Yeah, we got
NA
it.
prod. Grr.
Grr. How's the audio,
Ladies
by the
and
way?
gentlemen,
As this is a
we got
scuff
it.
scream. Can you hear the game audio? Yes or no?
No,
GG.
but I can hear the casters.
Let's go. That's all that matters.
Yep.
I just want to
Who
say,
needs-
throughout
who
all
needs game
this, I
audio?
have not been able to hear any game audio either. So
Okay,
now you
fine.
guys get to join me in the deafening silence of watching the top bar and seeing what ults are pressed.
I mean, that's the best part about this, right? You just gotta use that game sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Villain on the queen?
Do we think that Jack is going venture this time?
No.
No.
They broke my
I'm-
heart too many times to go venture.
I'm really sad they did not put Jack on Mercy.
Yeah, I feel like this is bait. He signed up to be on Mercy like 20 times, and he's not playing Mercy. I think that's snaky. I think it's betrayal. That's all I have to say
Why
about
did
it.
you tank? I just realized that. Booty support?
Yup, we're cooking here.
Yep.
We're cooking on the side of
Oh, they are.
whoever we're cooking with. I don't know. Welcome to match 3. Belfast Bunger Brigades leads 2-0. Looking for the third one to close it out, and Foo started looking to put down some pressure.
The Aardvarks just gain an advantage point on this high ground. Hopefully they can just like sustain this rush from the enemy team, but to no avail.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. Just realized Jack sticked venture. He's not a snake. He's actually going for it and actually putting in some serious work here. Nearly finds Fedora Master, but gets traded out in the process. Now it's just Booney, Fedora, and actually the rest of the Aardvarks now dancing down towards point. Forgot to put us into first-person mode. Forgot it
Honestly,
does that.
Bunger Brigade did an amazing job at rushing the enemy team down. I'm really excited to see how Hakashu does, and Chloe gets an amazing pick on Froost.
Oh, and that's
be
gonna
able
find
to
2.
Probably flip this point.
That's gonna almost find 2. If Hakashu wasn't on the Zarya, I think that would have cost Booney's life as well. But now
Without a
Hakashu
doubt.
back towards point, looking to face off towards Melon, seeing exactly what value they can find, and actually getting a lot of damage, beating down a couple players. I really like the Zarya pick here because it helps really. Oh, pause. Oh, whoopsie! I didn't even see the pause.
Oh, it's our team anyways. I thought it was one of us.
Oh. Anyways,
You
welcome
noticed
to
that too!
pause.
I thought it was
Yeah, I
cooked.
thought-
I was like, does Junker Queen always have 375? And I was like, no one said anything, so probably.
well, time to restart.
GG.
Yeah, I was like, their health bars look a little different.
Yeah. Anyways, this is why. So I mean, Fedora's an admin, right? And he's also a ringer in this match. And the moment he joins as a ringer, stuff starts going bad. Great admin, but when it comes to ringing, like,
Curse.
no, curse. Gur ringers is all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta blame him on this.
That's why the Sayoris always make sure we play with our own, because I don't want to go Gur ringers, you know?
Yup, we can't be going Gur ringers here.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a reset no matter what. I mean, like, we just can't play on 375. The match is relatively even as well, but
Yeah.
there is that point of just the counter comping now. You know, I wonder if Hakushu was still roll out the Zarya to like maintain and prevent Jack from going crazy.
Yeah, but now Jack, what if he starts, like, what if he shows Venture in the spawn room,
Sombra.
but doesn't end up going Venture? What if he baits us again? I thought we were finally going to get it, but now that all that's uncannon, and we got to go in again.
I think that was Jack's master plan the whole time. I think they knew that the
They knew it was
HP was a change. Okay. Yeah, and they rolled out on Venture just to get a laugh and gaff.
Yep.
And now they're going to go Sombra.
I like that. I think that'd be 200 IQ. Nah, Jack's trying to force same heroes we started on. I think that'd be funny.
Grr, resetting.
Grr, resetting.
Grr, NA prod. Grr, NA host. Grr ringers. Grr everyone. You know,
Grr everyone, for real.
Today's a grr day.
You see Hogshoe onto the Orisa, maybe, perhaps. Orisa after the nerf? How we feel about that?
Honestly, I think Riss will still be good into like tanks that she was good at, like with like Mog and the Hog, but I don't think in any other matchup she like succeeds in. But Hakushi's going to Zarya overall. I wonder how well they're gonna do at absorbing the Bunger Gate's dive this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they know the starting composition, they know the starting strategy, so it's all about how these teams counteract. And we can already see Melon taking a lot of damage, but at least this time he has more HP to counter it.
As we're seeing, just Fedora marking the Tracer lane hard, and they should find Foost or something right here. Jack is going in with another rock dive. Hakushu is just slowly building this energy charge to hopefully Booney kills Jack. Amazing pick on them.
Yeah, and that's an absolutely massive pick because now that's a green light for the rest of the team to go in. But members dropping extremely low, but Hakushu manages to find Melon. And maybe it was the Hakushu tank that we were looking for this entire time to be the saving grace. Already at high levels of charge and already able to force the entirety of the Belfast Brigade off this point, but it's not without any contention. Belfast is already at 46%, which, I mean, if they're able to take it over, it might mean only one more fight for the Australian Aardvarks.
Mm-hmm. And as we're seeing, just another counter swap to this Winston variant. I'm honestly, the side of Aardvarks should be able to maintain and capture this dive, even whatever comes through with this B or this carry ult.
Yeah, we got Foost already looking primed to use this pulse bomb early, getting a bit poked out by his enemies, but still looking to go a bit aggressive here, looking to catch one. It's going to be a high noon into the pulse. Neither found out as multiple ults are being exchanged on towards the point. Fedora, high noon, does manage to find Jack, though, on this point. And now it's the rest of the team from Australia just doing their best to really destroy Melon on the point. Melon drops dangerously low and eventually is going to get taken out. This is amazing sustainability that is shown by the Australian Aardvarks, and they're probably going to be able to close this one out on first point.
Without a doubt, you know, once we get that Katsuri and like Kiri Colt and find that kill onto Jack, you know, I'm already kind of writing my will. The match is already over for this point. And luckily, the Aardvarks get more ults to come out, though, from the side of the Aardvarks. Plenty, like, I would say they already won this fight. And they invested 2 ults to make sure that they did. It's going to be really scary going into this next point with only this beat to counter Jack's ult and this carry.
Yeah, and I think you did not need both the Blade and the Grav from Hakushu and Mythical Duck respectively. I think that was a bit of overuse, and we can see the alt use from Belfast looking very disciplined, but on the other side is a bit questionable to say the least.
And here comes the carry ult and the Jack ult. We should be able to find a kill onto Chloe very shortly, or anyone on the side of the Aardvarks. As you see, everyone is slow to follow.
And even though Melon drops very low, it's going to be a quick team kill on the side of the Belfast Bunger Brigade, and they're going to manage to capture this point first. Now, Chloe going to make the swap over onto the Sojourn, looking for a bit more damage potentially, on the monkey bubble, or just potentially denying the escape from other people with a rail charge.
As well as can make them very hard to be able to capture, but I'm really, again, just looking at that Ulticon still. But Fedora says, screw that. I'm going to still find my picks. And that's going to make way for the Aardvarks to win this out.
Yeah, the Aardvarks do have an advantage. High Noon invested from Fedora, seeing if he can find anything, but does not yet get a pick. But in this time, it turns out that the Australian Aardvarks do manage to flip the point, but the beat is going to be dropped by Nuttier. Belfast think they can turn this point quick, and it looks like they can. Melon dealing some serious damage out with his Primal Rage, managing to jump up towards high ground, clean up Chloe, and take over the point, only allowing 25% for the Aardvarks.
Laser beams pointed at the earth. One person to trust. I trust Booney to hit this carry ult and get that amazing value onto Mullen. I expect to just a hard go to point, get a carry ult, and they're going to find something here. That's at least what they should be playing for.
Yep, posturing towards one now. It's the only ult online in the game, and he invested easily, but it may have been too late as the law already has fallen down. It's on Booney to really sustain the entire team as Fedora does manage to find one. Point enters overtime. As many members of both teams are very low, Melon gets shut down, and Jack is found as well, so looks like it's going to go into the favor of the Australian Aardvarks as they take over.
Yeah. As a team, the Aardvarks need to be a little bit more stats. The reason why that fight got really sloppy is they're coming from multiple exits when they just need to take at least one angle, take 2-man cores, but they were really split on 3 separate angles, right? At least have those 2 go high ground, but at least for Mythical Duck is going to have this Sojourn online that can do immense value. I'm wondering if Jax is going to brawl here and just look for their ultimate, and as they're diving high. It comes out clear on high ground.
But it manages to get picked up by Hakushu. Hakushu cleaning that one up. As Foos with the pulse could be the hero play. Will Higgle invest all towards point, but he gets shut down. It feels like every time somebody clicks Q from the Belfast Bunger Brigade, they die. Foos misses the pulse. Mythical Duck falls as well. Or no, sorry, Mythical Duck finds the pick onto Higgle as well. And now it's just 3 members from the Belfast Bunger Brigade trying to survive, but Booney gets taken out. Jack with the swap over onto Sam, but the law drops the beat. That's going to catch every single surviving member. But with Booney down, is it going to be enough to sustain? Nuttier gets shut down, even though he had the beat to potentially contest towards the point. And it is going to go in favor of the Australian Aardvarks.
Yeah. And as we see, after that fight, the Bunger Brigades are going back to the comp that found them immense value with that Jack on Sombra. I'm really excited to see how the Aardvarks will actually handle this with their Diva now. And I'm expecting them to do pretty well with this Diva now on this type of map.
Yeah, and with 2 points in their favor as well, this is a time where you can start the snowball, but Nuttier and the rest of the Belfast Bunger Brigade are looking to snowball it in the opposite direction, but it's actually Mythical Duck who catches Foos despite the beat advantage. Booney falls as well. Hakushu trying to stabilize towards point, has the bomb if he wants to invest it, but it's literally just going to be Mythical Duck popping off towards point. Hakushu gets DMAC, the bomb is thrown out just to capture this point, but they managed to get it, and that's what matters.
Yeah, the Bunger Brigade do an amazing job at forcing out ults from the side of the Aardvarks, but as well, they're being really aggressive on their own ultimates, which I'd like to see, but I think a little bit too fast with that beat. But I'm really excited to see how Jack does with the CMP. Again, it's just been doing great value on point. 5-man EMP and just shuts them all down just like that.
Oh, and Melon can go so aggressive with that EMP. They're just going to clean up the point, only allowing about 52% for the Australian Aardvarks before it flips over. And that was really good ult use. They do manage to force out the overclock from Mythical Duck, but overall, they're still at an ult disadvantage. Both support ults on the side of the Australian Aardvarks.
Yeah. The Bunger Brigade has to do an amazing job at hitting these rotations, trying to force out ultimates before the Aardvarks can just get a free rotate to point. And I think they're looking for it on Chloe here. And Chloe might be soon to follow. No, she does an amazing kill on Jack, and they survive and make their way to point. Booney is low. They have to reply with ultimates.
And that's despite the hack, but, I mean, the Aardvarks just forced their way into point. They flip the point in the process. A trade comes in, Pulse, but Fedora finds Foost in exchange, so Aardvarks still with the lead, but it's not gonna be a commanding one just yet. There's still a lot to do as Hakushu trying to stabilize onto the back line. Melon's in there, but Hakushu with a nice spear to shut that down, giving the Aardvarks a very sizable advantage on towards this point. They're looking to clean up kills. It's Mystical Duck, who's basically been leading her team to victory, but manages to get shut down. Nuttier drops the beatdown, looking to turn this fight in the favor of the Belfast Bunger Brigade. Fighting towards point, but there's so much to stay in on the side. Multiple ults invested now. We got Wiggle Higgle with the rush. They realize they need to turn this fight, and they need to turn it quickly. And Nuttier finds Hakushu. Melon with a cleanup onto Fedora. And it's finally going to flip in favor of the Belfast Bunger Brigade.
The Bunger Brigades are finally getting back to their peak for the ult fights here. But I wonder how they can manage to take this fight without an EMP, because it's going to be so crucial to go on to the next point with it. But at the same time, I mean, Aardvarks are getting caught at spawn, and I think they're just going new. They're not even deciding to fight this, and I think that's a great decision by them.
Yep, Jack's actually going to hop out of Invis just to see if he can find a kill on a Booney, but in the end, doesn't find anything. I like this call from the Aardvarks. They realize that they might not have all the advantages they need. If they go in, they have to invest a lot of ults into what potentially could not be winning, but it looks like the point's actually going to go backwards. A bit of unexpected point positioning, which caused the Belfast Bunger Brigade to have the advantage, and Jack looking to line up this EMP.
Fedora is very out there. They're just going to get dove, and that's going to be a free fight one for the Bunger Brigade. You know, that play right there just makes you really thinking about Gur Ringers, don't you think?
I 100% agree. If it wasn't for Ringers, that wouldn't be happening at all, and it wouldn't be in this exact situation, but the situation we are in, Belfast Bunger Brigade do manage to clean up this point. They do manage to get the advantage, and they didn't even need to expend any ultimates for it. So I think that's a very good fight win, a very smart fight on the side of the Bunger Brigade. But coming up onto this next fight, we have a lot of ults, Neptune.
Yeah. You know, if Bunger Brigade can still keep just greeting with this right-click hack from Jack instead of using this EMP, it's going to be very well. But I'm expecting EMP to come out right here and right now. Yep. Right there, 4-man EMP. No immediate value right now.
Yeah, the Aardvarks doing a great job to stabilize. Fedora uses the high noon, does manage to find one towards the point, and it's going to be Foost and Melon dropping both of their ultimates as well, but they don't find anything with it. They're shut down extraordinarily quickly, and now it's just a complete advantage on the side of the Aardvarks in terms of ultimates.
Yeah, amazing job at Aardvarks, like just maintaining their rotations near cover, cut LOS, and then retake space with Fedora, finding that pick on Nuttier. I'm really excited to see like how the Aardvarks hold this, because I think this should just be wraps for them.
Yeah, it should be, but there's no next point for the Belfast Bunger Brigade. They need to go in. They need to find something with so many ults on the other side. Only the beat from Nuttier for the Bunger Brigade to contest. It has to be an amazing play. Mythical Duck invests the OC into this fight. Not able to find anything. We're actually able to find Wiggle Higgle, and now with an amazing shot onto Foost as well. Hakushu goes down. So Melon, last tank surviving in this fight. What can he do to sort of just turn the tide, disrupt towards the point? But it's actually going to be the Law investing into the beat. They realize that this could be the last fight, and this is potentially going to be the winning one, but Mythical Duck still coming up absolutely massive. Melon realizes that they have to get out. They can't risk their life when they are potentially the last one that can touch onto this point.
Yeah, we should be going to a map 4. unless Bunger Brigade pulls out of strategy like they did on the first map with that Doom recontest. And as we're seeing, that might very happen. Jack is closing the CMP, kills the Law, on point.
He's going to invest the EMP on point. That catches 3. That's big. Hakushu falls. Booney falls. Jack with a cleanup onto 2 there. And that's got to be playing the game right there. Turns the fight. What was a losable situation now has turned winnable for the Belfast Bunger Brigade.
Jack is just looking like prime lip on the Sombra here. I'm really excited to see like how this adaptation with the Mog comes out now.
Yeah, interesting. It feels like we've been playing basically tank rock, paper, scissors throughout this entire time. I think we've seen at least 60 to 70% of tanks in this single map just because they're just counter swapping each other. Just, oh, let's keep everything else the same and just swap tanks. Surely that'll do it all as Hakushu manages to find some early pressure onto point, forcing Belfast back towards this top angle, but Melon's definitely going to look to recontest. Still got a lot of time on this clock. Gave a big power punch to Melon, and Foost is going to be able to capitalize on it. Melon with the Meteor Strike, trying to line it up, trying to find one. Does manage to shut down Booney, but it's both supports on the side of Belfast that fall in exchange. Now Foost could line up a Pulse Bomb here if he needs to turn the fight. Manages to catch one. Now battling with Hakushu on the point. The Pulse Bomb is in. Doesn't do enough damage to kill, but he's there to follow up with the help of Jack. And Belfast are for the first time going to have the lead in terms of points.
Yeah, and it's going to be so scary. This beat and this Jack ultimate is coming online again. And I'm really nervous for how the Aardvarks are going to deal with that. They got to go really quick before those 2 ultimates are online. Probably with High Noon, but I think even better would be Chloe to open this with that Sojourn ultimate. And as they're building rail, this is going to be becoming a lot more pressure for the Aardvarks.
Yeah, but Mythical Duck does manage to find Foost on towards the point. The High Noon invested from Fedora. More of a zoning ult than anything as he does get booped down. Tries to find the shot. Doesn't connect just yet. Now blitzes onto Jack. Gets that kill. Gets that shutdown. Point flips in the favor of the Aardvarks. And it's just going to be a wipe for Bunger Brigade as they eventually fall out.
Yeah. This, as long as Aardvarks play really slowly and bait enemy players to dive them, like just make Hakushu like play forward, Surge play back with this OC, and like Law kind of hides, it should do well. But they're not they're playing somewhat sat that Jack is probably going to get immense value with the CMP.
I think it's going to be EMP versus OC. Not just which one's pop first, but which one gets more value in the fight. The value is going to be found from Fedora and Chloe without even investing ultimates, and they're not going to give anything to this. They're going to have 4 ultimates for the last fight, but as we saw on 4th point, that might not mean the difference, you know? It could easily turn on the side of the Belfast Bunger Brigade, especially when they have both support ults.
Yeah. The Aardvarks just have to do a crazy job at maintaining this. And as they go point, just got an EMP cage, break cage. But this is not immense value like we've seen from Jack.
Yeah, it's not as valuable as you expect it to be. And now it's going to be an absolute brawl on point. No picks found just yet. It's whoever can survive the longest. Mythical Duck with the OC does manage to find one. Looking for a second as Melon, they're dancing on point. They're dodging, weaving, doing their best to stay alive. Foost and Melon, both with ultimates, dropping insanely low. Now, finally, Melon's gonna drop down from the heavens, see if he can catch Fedora Master onto the point. Doesn't find anything. Foost's Pulse Bomb misses as well as Hakushu is gonna be the one to clean up this point with the help of Mythical Duck and co. It's just Melon, and they're not gonna be able to touch as they eventually fall, and Aardvarks pick up their first map.
Yeah, going into that map 4, it was really crucial that they didn't mess up that one fight where Mullen got hindered. I'm not sure if Mullen had ult, but that fight right there just allowed the Aardvarks to just do whatever they want.
We get to see the play of the game coming out from Melon, and I think that's the sort of story of this map. I mean, of course, there's some big pop-off moments, but I gotta give props where props are due. Hakushu going over onto the tank. I haven't seen them on this role, but they're kind of popping off right now.
Yeah, no, they're doing a great job. I'm really excited to see how that silent goes for Haku though.
No, keep Hakushu in. You need him. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Hoggish
I
is
was
my
wondering how their
GOAT.
Diva were gonna do on this Gibraltar, but I'm kind of expecting Jack and the Bunger Brigade to be able to bully point as long as they get hacks on whoever touches point, and they're just gonna feast off of that, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, this is the first map choice that Belfast is able to pull from, and I think this is definitely a good one for them. It really enables Melon onto the tank and enables Foost and Jack to really control the space. And now, of course, Jack's a good Sombra, and Foost is a great Tracer, but they can easily switch off if they want. Oh, actually going to Dorado instead. Is Watchpoint in the pool or not?
Dorado. Fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah. Watchpoint's just not in the pool. It's Havana, Junkertown, Shambali, and Dorado. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be even better for the Bunger Brigade for their Sombra Tracer look.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that. I do think the tank rock paper scissors was really funny at the start, though. I forget like the exact chronological order of it, but I think both tanks played 3 to 5 tanks that map, and they were like different tanks from each other too. They weren't just like counter swapping between like the Diva, Zarya, Winston like we saw. It was a lot of characters in there. They even brought out the Orisa. I want to see the Reinhardt here too. I actually don't want to see the Reinhardt, but I think it would be funny.
Yeah, the Rhine on Dorado, just like pulling out LH Cloudy strats, right?
Right. I'm pulling from my knowledge basis here of competitive Overwatch, but it is not that big. But I trust you.
I'm really all right, thank God. I was gonna say I feel like the Mercy into what Bunger Brigade has been playing is like really scary. To be honest, if I'm Fedora, I'm pulling out that good trusty old Torbjorn against this team on Dorado.
But you gotta remember that Fedora is a Gur ringer, so he cannot play the Torbjorn. He's banned off Torbjorn because
what an awful day.
Nyanza is not able to play the Torbjorn.
What an awful day.
Yep, and this is why Gur ringers.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
it just goes back to it at the end of the day.
Getting to map 4 of Dorado. We see Nuttier now onto the Zenyatta and Jack onto the Echo. A few characteristic swaps that are going to do a bit more. But it's actually going to be Wiggle who's doing more, putting down a ton of pressure onto Fedora and managing to find that first kill. As Foost has managed to really turn this point, the amount of pressure that Melon was able to put down onto the high ground as he tries to go up again, doesn't actually commit to that high ground push, but now staging around the cart as all of the Aardvarks really not been able to do anything. They've now just find the pick onto Jack, and now are looking to turn to this cart, but there's already been so much progress from the Belfast Bunger Brigade, they've lost their best positioning.
Yeah, even though Jack got picked and the fights like slowly stopped, the Bunger Brigade are able to take all the space now just from that cart push alone. As we're seeing Nuttier going top left to get an angle against the Sig. This Sig should die eventually and get crashed out on from Nuttier's team. Just free damage on a low Sig.
Yeah, and now Melon in towards the backline, but a great rock from Silent Storm to really deny the positioning. Exchanges on both sides as Foost does manage to pick up Fedora as well. So now the DPS on the other side are gone. The Law Invest drops the beat, but Nuttier with the Transcendence to sort of equalize out. And Melon with this Primal Rage doing their best towards the point, seeing exactly what damage they can find. And it's going to be a lot. It's going to be massive, and it's going to help them capture this first point on Dorado.
Yeah, great job from the Bunger Brigade. That being said, I'm really nervous to see how the Aardvarks answer is with their ults, because it's going to be really hard to find an opportunity to rush off of this high ground with their type of comp, right?
Yeah, especially when the comp from the Bunger Brigade is so explosive. You can see they just explode down onto Mythical Duck, giving her really no chance to regroup with the team, take a recontest. The only real advantage for Aardvarks right now seems to be in the ultimates, but still a wide distance to cover for them.
And as Chloe just finds a great pick onto Foost. Even although that happens, it's going to be really hard to stall this point. And as we're seeing, just like this free card pressure for so long until they get to this corner. And from that point, they just get to take this high ground for relatively free.
Yeah, and Melon on the high ground, a very, very dangerous thing. Denies the angles for both Chloe and Fedora Master, but multiple ults coming online. It's going to be the rush from Booney. The Bob invested in towards the back line. It's going to actually go a bit deep. Not sure exactly how much pressure it's going to put on, but it's going to be a lot. Melon is going to explode down towards the point. And now it's just Jack in this duplicated form doing his best to build up a flux, but unable to find it as Chloe cleans up that one as well. Now going hunting, knows the Tracer's in there, takes a lot of damage and actually gets shut down by Foost.
Yeah, that kill onto Chloe is just going to be so great for the Bunger Brigade to possibly just take control of this high and force them a fight on the end of third. And right now, it's just going to be cleanup.
Yeah, and Foost is doing an amazing job of just really expanding these resources. Manages to throw down the false bomb, doesn't find anything, but gets an opening for Melon and Nuttier to find 2 picks towards the point. Now, Chloe with the overclock, doing her best on this respawn position, but when there's a Melon in your face, it's going to be kind of hard to take this contest. Fedora does get 1 for his troubles, but that's not going to be what they have asked for at all if you're the Australian Aardvarks.
Yeah, the Aardvarks' identity as a comp is just really hard. Half of them just want to sit back and spam, half of them want to brawl, and it's really hard to find that balance, especially when the Bunger Brigades just get to push this payload for free.
Yeah, and there's so much pressure on the DPS of the Aardvarks. It's so hard to exist in this economy, it feels like. And Melon with a Primal Rage, looking to go aggressive again, manages to find Mythical Duck without even investing it so far. The Law has to drop the beat, but it's going to be a Transcendence from Nuttier at the same time. And now the Law is going to look like the next person that can be caught out. Silent Storm also fighting for their life on towards the point. Booney tries to save this, turn this around, investing in the Kiriko ultimate as well. And it feels like Melon's just been holding on to this Primal Rage, doesn't even use it just yet, gets all the damage that they need, and finally invested in, is going to effectively spawn camp out the entire team. Jack in the spawn as well with the duplicate, does manage to get forced out of it as Mythical Duck finds a hero kill, so does Booney. So this fight looking winnable now, turning in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, Aardvarks recognize that the Mullen and Jack just kind of go way too deep, and they just kind of feast on everyone else on point, even though they have carry ults. Both are matched, and the Bunger Brigade's tank is nowhere to be found to really help that backline just stay alive.
Yeah, but I think the swap on over to the Tracer is going to be absolutely massive for Chloe, managing to deal out some immense damage towards Foost and gets the recall force first, but it's going to actually be a trade. Foost manages to stick Chloe, and both sides are going to be swapped out. Now, Silent Storm is over onto the Monkey. A decently recent swap, and it turns out to be a very favorable one as they manage to collapse on towards Nuttier. Melon's forced out back towards the spawn, but Silent Storm not afraid to push the aggression with the help of Fedora. Manages to find their kill. It's been an amazing job from the Australian Aardvarks to really burn time off this clock on third point.
Yeah, I'm really happy that the Aardvarks made this swap because I feel like they have more of an identity now than they have ever. That being said, it's going to be still really a scary fight. But we got Fedora on this high ground just raining damage galore and might possibly die to the Mullen Primal here shortly.
But it's going to be Silent Storm who decides to opt to use the Primal first and foremost, dealing a ton of disruption out towards the point and enabling the kill from Fedora. And now Silent Storm's just on this backline, really pressuring out the rest of the team. Fedora lands into Dynamite, but Melon onto the point, doing their best job. They managed to catch Fedora out alone, but they're very, very weak. They realize they need to back up, and it might be entering sort of a last fight territory if Ridicule didn't find that pick onto Mythical Duck. That's absolutely massive from him.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how the Aardvarks can do against this fight with Booney's ultimate, as well as this closing Bob. And here comes the matching carries. And what we're looking for is Foos and Nuttier this fight. And Mullen soon to falls. This should be wraps for the Aardvarks.
It looks like it is going in the favor of Belfast, though. This Mythical Duck does clean up Jack onto the point. And now Chloe can sort of just bully the team back. There is going to be a last touch coming out, likely from Foost. Has the pulse to turn it, as well as a coalescence from Nuttier. But Mythical Duck very close to a pulse of her own. And almost going to be able to generate it just here. Could look to expend it early, but instead recalls out. And now all the pressure rests on Foost. Drops dangerously low. Has to recall back. A pulse is thrown by Chloe. That one misses. Pulse thrown by Foost. That one also misses. But Melon's on the point, dealing damage. Finding the first pick, gets damaged himself. Overtime is forced. Who's going to step on the cart? What's going to happen as Fedora throws down the bob, doing as much as they can to really force out this aggression. As it looks like the Australian Aardvarks are going to be able to clean it up. Foost with a bit of heroics. Wiggle Higgle dancing on the point, doing their best. But that's going to be all she wrote. Third point is all that the Belfast Brigade is going to be able to obtain.
Yeah, the Bunger Brigade only get that far, but as we know, like pushing Dorado even past second is, can be a big challenge, right? That being said, I think Bunger Brigade's like comp on all of these maps are maybe better as long as we don't see like the Aardvarks like kind of matching that Winston again. Once we match that Winston, I feel like it's really even playing grounds for both of these teams.
Yeah, Soundstorm's Winston proving to be absolutely vital in my opinion. And they've been matching Melon despite any, whether it be SR discrepancy or the experience discrepancy. It's been a very solid match in my opinion. As good to see a bit of early comps. I feel a bit more confident in talking about the comp from the side of Belfast because they're on the defender side. It looks like we're gonna have Jack on the Torbjorn.
Yeah, they're listening to Cook, right?
Yup.
Yeah, no, I think this map against Dive is like really well, especially if it's like a somber tracer. But if the Aardvarks have like an Echo or just a more spammy look, I can see them taking on the Storm and the Lifeweaver. I think this is one of the first times in Aurora history probably to see a Lifeweaver. Maybe I'm wrong. And Mythical Duck just goes out of spawn and find a pick on the Wiggle.
Yeah, that's the Mythical Duck diff right there. Also drops Jack dangerously low, but eventually going to get forced out down towards the point. But still just ego scoping in, doing their best to find value, but down a turret, down a lot of pressure. Mythical Duck with another pick. That's going to shut down Nuttier onto the point. She's definitely going to be looking for more here, trying to find an area to maybe hit a grapple shot upwards, find a pick, find a trade, find anything. The Law manages to find another pick on towards Melon, but it seems to all be going in the favor of the Australian Aardvarks. Wiggle Higgle doing his best to disrupt that, though.
Yeah, as Wiggle Higgle dies first, they make it back on this defense, finding that crucial pick onto Fedora, allowing the Bunger Brigade to get a nice recontest here.
Yeah, and this is going to be very solid recontest. No ultimates online just yet, but they do have a lot of pressures. Wiggle Higgle manages to find the second towards the point as well. Nuttier's off the Lifeweaver onto the Moira. Maybe a character that can deal a lot more damage upwards, and it seems like that's exactly what they need, as they manage to wipe by the hand of mostly Foost and save maybe this first point.
Sadly, the Chloe Widow has to disappear as the Aardvarks take a new approach to this new comp. And I'm just interested to see how well Jack will do on the sword to make sure Chloe's life is just purely bad, right?
Yeah, I think that's the real key. You want to deny any dive, but with dive coming in from all sides, it looks like it's going to be Nuttier and Foost managed to shut down the Law. Jack manages to find Silent Storm as well. The fight going purely in the way of the Belfast Bunger Brigade. A stick comes in. Foost and Fedora, feels like the third time that Foost is getting a DPS-based trade, but it is going to be, good trade dropped in the chat. It is going to be Melon cleaning up towards the point and Foost with a quick respawn.
And slowly but surely, the Bunger Brigade are going to be slowly trying to make their way up to point. But the timing seems off that it gets Chloe caught out here. And this fight should just be lost from the Aardvarks, but the Bunger Brigade keeps on counter-ulting, and we just go crazy with the ult investment here.
Yeah, ults on both sides. Silent Storm with Primal Rage here, dropping extraordinarily low, manages to dive back in. Drops the bubble onto the high ground, and it feels like a lot of ults expended. Nothing came of it, and eventually it's going to go in favor of the Belfast Brigade yet again. So entering a bit of a dangerous position for the Australian Aardvarks here, as Belfast seems to have found something that worked. Mythical Duck's now going to make the swap over onto this Echo, potentially.
Yeah, this Echo Mercy is great here, right, to their comp.
Yeah. Incredible addition here, providing a lot of pressure onto this Winston, and a little bit less of a detriment because of the Torbjorn here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be very hard for the Aardvarks to make any room or space for Fedora and Mythical Duck. It's going to be really off of Mythical Duck to find this pick and break the start for their team. But even then, as we're seeing from the Bunger Brigade, they have the Kyrie ult, they have the Primal soon, and Fedora just gets caught out from Foost.
Yeah, so that means they can hold on to this Kitsune Wrench for a bit longer, and they might not even need it to close out this fight, as it looks like they're going to drop it down on towards point, absolutely collapsing down on towards Silent Storm. They're cleaning up the fight. They're pushing towards the spawn doors. They're not afraid of the Australian Aardvarks. And even with the high noon from Fedora, is not going to be able to find anything. And that's going to go in favor of the Belfast Bunger Brigade. 3-0, they take down the Australian Aardvarks.
Nope, 3-1 actually.
Oh, sorry, 3-1. My bad. I'm dyslexic. GG's.
NA prod.
NA prod.
NA casters.
NA casters.
Grr, prod.
We hate
casters.
these people.
Yeah. So, do we want to go into conversations about the MVP already?
Yeah, I think this is the right time to. So, obviously, Belfast Bunger Brigade win 3-1. And they got 5 talented people. Even down Yak, they managed to put up an amazing performance. Neptune, which one of these players do you think should be the MVP?
It's really hard. Like, my front runners right now are Melon and Jack. You know, Jack just like that Sombra just carried so many times, getting the first picks, coming back in crucial fights like on the Servaso, which they ended up losing though, as well as the first Goth, but as well, like, not only was it Jack, but it was Melon that like clutched up in those recontest fights too, I would say. So it's just very hard to pick between those two, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was going to mention those exact same 2 people. It seems like whenever you see the kill feed light up by a single player, it's either one of them, and they're doing amazing. And to be fair, the rest of the Bunger Brigade doing an incredible job as well. I don't know if I can be the one to decide. I think you got to decide it, Neptune.
You know, I think it's got to come down to Jack and that Sombra. Like I said, the Aurora lip, as I called them, right? They just did an amazing job on that Sombra throughout the maps. Really looked solid throughout the entire series, right?
Alrighty, well, Jack will be this map's MVP. Hopefully we can get him in soon. Not sure. Oh, he's already in. Welcome, Jack. Congratulations on your win against the Australian Aardvarks. 3-1. Welcome to the desk. How was the game today?
Today's game was an interesting game. I played a lot of Sombra, and then I kind of memed around and played other characters that I probably shouldn't have, but they kind of worked out.
The Venture them.
I wanted the Venture. I was hyped for the Venture, and then you kept swapping off Venture, and I got sad.
I did it in a Servas or whatever, but kind of lost all the points that I played Venture on, even though I thought Venture was okay, but I don't know.
All right, Jack. First question. I got many questions. I'm not gonna lie, but first question: are you beating the Sombra one trick allegations? Yes or no?
I don't know. After that Torb game, I might be the #1 Torb in the league. I'm gonna be real.
Ooh, big words, big words. Respect it though. Respect it though.
I like to think so, but I don't know. My Sombra just kind of goes crazy whenever I play it. So.
Yeah, as I claimed you to be, the Aurora lip, you know? It's just amazing from the recontest fights all the way to the ults fights, where I think I only just remember the one fight at Servaso that we didn't find any kills, right? But other than that, like, every EMP just got so amazing value. Like, if you mind sharing, like, what do you look for when you set up those EMPs, and what do you call it for your team?
I noticed that the team we played against really liked to entry like all together. They kind of didn't flank unless they had a tracer, and they didn't play tracer a lot because they had Soj. So I tried to call them early and just point out where they're going. I asked my team if they're ready, and they say yeah, and then I just kind of go in, and then I throw a virus and get out, and hopefully it gets a kill. But my team usually follows up and does it, so I kind of just try to pull it off early a little bit.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about the team. I feel like you guys have great synergy. Obviously today you were down Yak, but you still managed to pull out the dub 3-1. So are the vibes up for the Belfast Bunger Brigade?
I think that our stonks are through the roof now. I think we were an underrated team coming into this season, but I think we're showing that even down one of our GM players, we're still a force to be reckoned with. I think that we're always there, our head's always in the game, we're not really getting down, so I don't really see us going down from here.
That being said, what does your SR average look like when Yak's on the play? Because you guys still look great.
You know, I really don't know that. I don't think we dropped that much because I think Melon tank and allowing Melon to play with Foost is like kind of where it cuts off, which is where we have to switch out Yak or I believe Foost. So I think we're probably still around the cap. I don't think we dropped that much, but yeah, he's still a very good part of our team, especially just for the comms.
I believe you guys are exactly at the cap if like you're at 3650 if you guys run that comp, by the way. So
Oh.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it worked very effectively. Now, talk to me a little bit about Saravasa, because obviously there was a lot of mix-up on that map. You did end up losing that map, but what was that map like? What did you have to overcome, and then how did you turn it around on Dorado?
So I think, honestly, Saravasa might have just been... We haven't really scrimmed Venture. I said, y'all care if I just try Venture? And they said, sure. So we kind of rolled out on something we don't really play a lot, and then when I switched to Sombra, we started pulling it together. And honestly, I think we win that map if we just didn't go left instead of going straight to point like we did the previous fight, because the EMP, like Neptune said, it kind of got nothing. And I think that was the major issue there. If we went straight, it wouldn't have been like very split from us. So going into that, we just tried to pick a dive map after we lost that, and I think that really played our advantage because they don't really play dive at all.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know, I was really worried about the Gibraltar because I felt like it would be harder for you to find that value, but like on a map Dorado, like I kind of just like trusted that the Sombra Tracer would work well, and that the Aardvarks had to like adapt to it again still on a actual harder dive map.
Yeah, I was actually scared to play Sombra into a map like that because it's kind of hard to get value off Sombra when there's such dynamic high grounds. So I tried Echo, and then when Echo started going terribly, I was like, let's just...
Hold out that Torb.
Yep. I had to play one map as Torb just because Fedora couldn't play Torb.
That's true. We got to make sure we're playing Torb against Fedora, just so at least you get the Torb diff, you know.
Yep.
All right, I got one more question before El Clasico, and I think this might be the most important question yet, Jack.
Here, tell me.
All right, talk to me a little bit about your Fortnite career and why you're the GOAT at Fortnite.
Oh, I haven't played that game.
Neither have I. True.
We still need to run it back. I'm pretty sure they're running FNCS and we're not playing it.
I know, it's wild.
Just
for anybody who doesn't know, Jack is my Fortnite duo, and he's the GOAT. And I taught him everything he knows, and they translated it over to Overwatch, and he just happens to be better at me than Overwatch. But, anyways,
right.
Neptune.
Stuff I've used since 7 years ago.
Yup. And anyways, Neptune, do you want to ask El Clasico?
What's that?
Oh, anyways, sorry. El Clasico is the question we ask at the end, which is, Jack, if you were not the MVP for the Belfast Bunger Brigade today, who would be and why?
Oh, that's tough. But come to think of it, I think I would have to just say Melon, because they really know how to like, what am I trying to say? They really know how to follow up on my EMPs.
Valid.
I feel like every fight that I EMP'd, Melon was always there and just getting kills, no matter what. And I would just see him going even if I TP'd out.
Valid.
I got his, and it worked.
Extraordinarily valid. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Jack, for joining us on the broadcast today. Congratulations on your win, and we look forward to seeing you in the latter half of the season popping off with your team.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, that was Jack on the interview, and I believe this Scuff Prod must come to an end at one point in time, and that time is now. So, Neptune, do you want to be the one to close us out?
Yeah, of course. You know, great matches today. I'm really excited to hopefully. I don't think there will be an actual prod for tomorrow, but hopefully one of the players will stream their point of views so we can all watch this amazing tournament and matches.
Alrighty. Well, this was War on prod/cast/everything. Panini in the background as well, and Neptune on his first cast. He did amazing. Give him some love in chat. And we will see you next time on Aurora Esports. Have a safe night, everybody. See ya.
Have a good one.